Okay, Jake, so tell me, what are you doing right now?
Fixing your fuck up.
Well, technically it's not, I don't know whose fuck up it is actually, but what exactly are you doing down there? With the radiator out and the clutch fan off and...
Oh, the thread on the crank bolt.
Oh, really? The thread? You're fixing the thread on the crank bolt?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the thread on the crank bolt?
It got damaged when the bolt came out while the motor was running.
Ugh. Alright, so GoPro went dead last night. My bad. Got rethreaded the crank bolt. Got it in nice and good. Everything goes in there sweet, so crisis averted. Jake has put a lifetime supply of Loctite on there, so that cunt is probably never coming out again. Radiator back on, bled that all up. We actually had a bit of a hard time bleeding it up. Just did not want to bleed through. We also looped heater lines just here because we got no more heater. Bled out the power steering. That's all good to go. Everything's back on over there. We also ran all the wiring for the lights and mounted them. Got the Rio bar back on. Yeah, I can't believe I fucking did that too, but oh well. Gonna rock that. Yeah, so we got these are just temporary mounted for the time being. Apparently they're getting hell strict on bumpers and stuff, so we will be running a bumper for Matsuri. And we'll probably just pop them where these guys are supposed to go. We're also going to try and all get defect notices on all three of our drift cars, so we got to stop paying rego. So I want to leave this like that in the hope that I get the first sticker, so that means I win. Yeah, so basically we've got this. It's just running below the intercooler now. It's out of the way. It's good. It'll be neatened up later. Took this fender off last night as well, and what we did is we tucked the loom right up. No more loom, so the loom's actually right up on a lip that sits about there or something. We also ran the wiring for this through there, as you can see. Comes out nice and neatly here, bang onto the battery, and then it goes through into the dash through the firewall into where the dash was, and then just going to mount the relay just here in a second, hopefully. And yeah, we've just got the switch just down here, and then yeah, we just got to do a bit of tidying up. One thing we did notice is that this fuel line just down here is leaking. It was pissing out last night actually, so found some fuel line, changed that. Also just got this back on. We were going to replace, because apparently this is a big no-no for scrutineering at the drifts, so we're going to have to replace that and plumb the catch can back in at some stage. Not today, but that'll be enough to get us down the shop. So we've got a few little things I want to tidy up and do, and then hopefully call up my mate and say, yeah, I'm coming down for a wheel alignment if they're not too busy. Okay, this is something maybe I want to draw a little bit of attention to. This here is the hose. Look at that. Just fucking look at the cunt. Brand new Nissan hose from 1992. Now, you fuckboys should be focusing on things like this other than just doing lock and engine swaps and RB swaps and LS swaps. You should just be replacing fuel lines, because this top line here was done. That looks pretty much brand new, but the bottom line wasn't, and that's just not fucking acceptable. Like seriously, who does that shit? Alright, now I think everything's pretty much done. Got to run it up, start checking for any leaks, and go underneath all the front suspension and just check everything's tight, and then we'll be good to go.
Best is a giga nigga.
Hey Sean, guess what I was doing? I was recording you with my GoPro. Lowering the car down, right, after putting everything in, fucking getting it all modified, all chopped up. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks alright. Then I move over to this side, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd that dent come from? Why is this so high? Why is that off the ground? Sitting here, I look back, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What's gone wrong? What's happened? What could have... Did something get fucked up? Did we put the steering rack in upside down on an angle on fucking 270 degrees? Now look under it, and I left a fucking brick under that side. Jesus Christ, fucking rookie of the year. Just wanted to share my heartbreak moment. I was stressing. It's probably up to 170 BPM. Not even doing any hit. The bullshit. Too much stress. So yeah, checked it. Doesn't look to be leaking. It's driving good. Clean the windows. Just pissed down. Windows stopped working. What the fuck? Come on, honestly. Wipers don't work, no electrics work, dash card doesn't work, speedo doesn't work, temperature gauge doesn't work, boost gauge doesn't work. Got an SR20 turbo bar over there, thanks for that, yep. So, I'm gonna go load up my tools and go pick up my mate, and then we'll go get a wheel alignment. Yeah, that's how I'm driving it. I just really want to enforce the fact that I really don't care about this car in the slightest bit, and I hope it gets a defect notice so I can stop paying fucking registration on it.
Right now, I'm feeling myself. Sippin' fountain, credit cards and the scammers. Wake up beside this shit, let designer, whole bunch of ladder shit. They be acting rats, I know we clapping shit. I be pulling my stuff in the finest shit. I got plenty of stuff.
Handle right there, all the fucking cut up, and then have the bang back, and then up the body up. I get it, I got cards, yeah, shit it. It's how I live. Did it all for a ticket. I play the ball when you spinning the bottom. Jump the door, don't business in the paper. Get them shit, she doing. Let me get to the chicken, count to the chicken, and all my things.
200 helmets, legacies, family, ways, pockets full, Danny, selling ball, candy, lean out the macho like Randy, the chopper go out to for Grammy, this nigga pull out your bandit, killers understand me, I got broads in the line.
Hello! Put your seatbelt on too. So, wheel arm and specs. Let me just get this out of my glove box. Okay, so let's try this again now that I've actually had a chance to read this piece of paper. Now, I've got some initial measurements. Now, as you remember, I eyeballed through all of this shit, but there's no final measurements. Brett, do your fucking job. Now, so what we do have is the driver's side rear camber is set about 0, or he said just as close to 0 as possible. The passenger side was actually seized. They were jumping up and down on it and just could not get it to crack. So we got to pull that out and adjust that out in a vise, and hopefully it's not fucking seized up. Otherwise, one wheel is going to be destroying tyres a lot quicker than the other. We also got a tow problem. The passenger side is also, it was way out and they couldn't bring it in a hell of a lot, which is probably why the final measurement's not there, because Brett's a shit cunt. So yeah, probably will need some adjustable tow arms in the rear to sort that out, and we may possibly need some new camber arms. However, it's good enough. It's going to do the job. Now, he was pretty happy with how I set up the front, which is good. He said the caster's pretty much at factory specs, and it was pretty even both sides, so he basically just left that, which is good considering I just eyeballed that. Now, the tow, the car drove awesome there. I've had cars that have done this before on, and they were skipping all over the road. Individual tow, there we go. We got 3.9 negative, which is good. And now he's just made it about as close to 0 as possible. I told him to leave it in the negatives. Camber, basically just left it. 5 degrees is a fair bit, but I suppose that's what you expect with the camber plates maxed out. And then the lower control arm. So other than that, it felt pretty good to drive home. And yeah, but it wasn't all fun and games. Obviously, boost gauge not working. There's an electronic boost controller somewhere. That's not fucking working either. So I've got like 3 or 4 days to fix that before it goes in for a tune. We also came home. I may have done a sneaky little burnout, and I was just getting this strange squeaking noise from the rear end. So This caliper here was completely stuck on. This here is all fucking glowing white, piss and smoke out, and I actually touched it and it burnt my fucking finger. So thanks to Z, he went around his house last night and he just gave me another caliper off one of his project cars. Jake picked us up a bumper. It is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. Oh, look at this fucking shit. Rio bar's been cut. Fucking thing. I can literally stick my whole body through that gap there. Also picked up a few other little cool things. Jake got us a lifetime supply of Buntalong fucking cable ties. He also got me some Deutsch plugs. Made them up for us at work, so they're going to be for the front lights. So instead of having shit pins, which did actually fuck out straight away, we've got these nice plugs, so we'll solder them in. And he got us the fire extinguisher, because when the car does catch on fire, not if, but when, we'll be able to put the cunt out. And obviously this is a requirement for drifting. So that, and then yeah, we're pretty much all set. So let's get this shit done. So, wheel arm and specs. Let me just get this out of my glove box. Okay, so the fuck? Okay, Jake, so tell me, what are you doing right now?
Fixing your fuck up.
Oh really? The thread? You're fixing the thread on the crank bolt?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the thread on the crank bolt?
Got damaged when the bolt came out while the motor was running.
Now, which dickhead did that?